Imagine representing your country at the Olympics. Now imagine being only 17 and you win gold and set a world record. That's exactly what Belle Moore did back in 1912.
She was born in Glasgow on the 23rd of October 1894 and was 8th of 9 children.
She learned to swim because of the Glasgow Corporation. They had a policy at that time that every child who attended school had to learn to swim. And she was taught how to swim and really took to it. And very quickly it became apparent that she had a real skill for it.
She loved swimming so much that she would often walk 2 to 3 miles just to go to training. It paid off because by the age of 17, Belle was already a swimming instructor.
And in 1912, she was scouted to join the first women's British swimming team, the first of its kind at the Olympics. The 1912 Stockholm Olympics were the first games which allowed women's swimming.
Alongside her teammates Jeannie Fletcher, Annie Spears and Irene Steer, she won a gold medal in the women's 4x100 metre freestyle relay and set a new world record.
Incredibly, Belle managed all this when she was just 17 years and 226 days old.
Belle is still the youngest British woman to win an Olympic gold, and she's the only Scottish woman to win an Olympic gold for swimming.
She and her team performed really well, and we know that because they set a number of records through their participation, and those records stood till the early 2000s.
It's a hell of an achievement to become Olympic champion, and under Belle's circumstances even more so. And yeah, an amazing achievement, and especially at such a young age as well. Being a Scot, I think I sort of pride myself on Scottish sporting knowledge, so was surprised to hear of the story, but it's great that it's sort of come to light a bit more now, and yeah, fantastic achievement to become Olympic champion so young. It was the first Olympics that females were allowed to compete in the pool. It was a sort of landmark occasion, and it's history, isn't it? It is that inspirational element. We're a country that has a huge focus on performance sport, on elite sport. I think we would be the first to admit we punch above our weight in that sense, and so I think it's important to remember those that have gone before us.
Belle Moore returned to Glasgow with her gold to a relatively little fanfare, but she kept on swimming, breaking the 200 metre record in 1913.
In 1919, she married George Cameron, a naval architect, and they emigrated to Maryland in the United States, where Moore gave birth to a daughter, Doris, and son, George.
She spent the rest of her life in Maryland, where she taught swimming to thousands of children.
And she was posthumously inducted into the International Swimming Hall of Fame as an Honour Pioneer Swimmer in 1989.
I think we don't remember her because there is a kind of natural tendency for us to celebrate male sports stars, and they have dominated in the media and in our historical accounts of the past. And that's something that we need to change, because young women who are taking part in sport now need role models, and they need to know that actually what they're doing is, yes, it's significant, but there's a rich history of women who are breaking down boundaries, and that's the reason why they can take part in the sports they can now, is because these women fought these battles and broke these records, and they should be celebrated for that reason.
Belle died on the 7th of March 1975. She is well remembered in Baltimore, but she isn't remembered over here.
She's an amazing role model for any young girls who want to get into sport, and she's a reminder that ordinary girls can do extraordinary things.